back to the Midnight Who Show, and today we are going to be reviewing the 6th episode of Doctor Who Series 12, of course, Praxeus. And this is an episode that kind of deals with the environment and the Earth. And this reminds me kind of Orphan 55. But I actually will say Praxeus did a really good job with it. Now, of course, the big central issue that is kind of throughout this episode is, of course, the use of plastic. Plastic is everywhere on Earth, and this episode uses that. But in a way, I think is kind of a really interesting idea. So Praxeus is more like this virus. And basically, it's kind of attracted to plastic. And then, of course, it gets spread through the birds. And the birds fly all around and because they have plastic. And then they scratch humans and they get it. And it's all that cycle. And I think that's a really kind of cool idea. Now, of course, one of the more kind of scary but really cool elements of the story was when the humans get infected. We saw a couple of them. It just kind of get this like scaly type of environment going around with them, and then all of a sudden they just poof out of existence. It's really scary at times. Of course, Praxeus got here because of a ship from another world that basically their people were being ravaged by Praxeus, so they crash landed on here and on Earth and started doing kind of experiments. And of course, that means Praxeus is now on Earth, and the Doctor has to stop it. Of course, develops the vaccine and spreads it using the ship. So that's basically the basic of the story, so let's just talk about some positives for this story. One thing I can say is, I think it's a really clever idea of using this plastic with this kind of alien virus kind of mixed together. I think that's a really kind of clever idea. And I also really just think the guest cast was really good in the story. There is, of course, one guest character that I would say is a little bit, to me, just acted a little bit weird after her friend just vanished and then all of a sudden just died. I don't know, that was the only negative part of that part of it, but besides that, mostly positive. Of course, I really enjoy Graham. Every week I say that, it feels like. Every week I say I really enjoy Graham. But he's just a great character. Of course, the other companions were pretty good. Yas was very interesting. I was just kind of like going against the Doctor. At least I thought in that one scene, it's like, no, Doctor, this seems important. I'm going to go investigate it. And she was also kind of, it was a very hilarious scene when she was going, I thought I discovered an alien world. She's very disappointed by that. And of course, I think Jodie did a pretty good job in this episode. And there's a little twist with one of these secondary characters that we meet in the story, who's actually part of the crew from the alien ship. And I like how the Doctor just kind of realized, I should have realized that, but she was a scientist, and it kind of overwhelmed her judgment, which I thought was kind of interesting. On the negative side, I wouldn't say there's too much. Of course, that one guest character that I just felt after her friend just died seemed a little bit off to me. I will also say the opening to this episode, where they're jumping back and forth to these different places on the globe to set up the episode. I just didn't really enjoy that. But after that, it eased into it, and the episode was pretty solid after that. I would also say the ending wasn't really rushed, which is a very nice thing, and that's pretty much the negatives I have with the story. So overall, to me, Praxeus is a pretty decent story, but I just don't really have much to say about it. I really think it used the idea of, plastic being everywhere on Earth in a very different way than you would expect, instead of just saying, we must use less plastic and just kind of hammering that message. It more used it like, well, look what you did. Look what happened, humans. You have plastic all over, and now the alien virus was attracted to it, and now it's spreading through birds. I really thought that was kind of a unique idea, and honestly, those bird scenes were quite interesting and a little scary at times, which is really kind of cool. But yeah, to me, this was a decent enough Doctor Who story to keep my attention. There's a lot of good things about the story, and there's also, of course, a lot of bad things. But to me, it was well written. It had a good motive. The story had a good reason for being in existence, and it was well paced, except for the beginning to me. And compared to Orphan 55, the side characters were a lot, I think, stronger in the story, so that's a really positive. And I kind of enjoy the idea a little bit more here with this kind of alien virus. I don't know, it's kind of a different idea. So yeah, overall I would definitely give Praxeus maybe a 6 to a 6.5. It's definitely not as, to me, it's definitely a little bit higher than the average I gave. I think it's definitely higher than Orphan 55, but a little bit less than Nikola Tesla's. It's right in the middle. But that's just my thought on this episode. Tell me your guys' thoughts in the comments below, and I'll of course see you guys in the next video. Bye everyone.